Hey guys, good to catch up with you. I mean, this was a new home for you about 8 months ago. You're getting ready to move again. What prompted the move here, and why did you want to plant new roots here, create new memories?
Yeah, I mean, where we were, we thought we were going to be there for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time, and we called it our forever house. Mm-hmm. And I think part of this process has taught me that you could never say that about anything. Mm-hmm. You can never say this is it's taught me really to live in the moment more than anything. And that's been a huge lesson for me, because we just couldn't be there anymore. Or at least I couldn't. I couldn't drive in the driveway and see the pool, and I just couldn't feel good about it. And of all the good memories we made there was one really bad one, and I didn't want to put my family through seeing that every day. Mm-hmm.
It had to be hard, Amber, I imagine, to pack up that house too, though, and to know that you were leaving behind so many memories, and also the place where your last memory with your son was.
Yeah, we talked about it right after the accident about moving, and at first I didn't think I could move. I couldn't leave. You know, those were River's woods, and that's where he drove his tractor all the time, and I just thought we couldn't leave. And then as like a month went on, I don't think we were able to be ourselves there for our other children. Mm-hmm. It was hard, you know, to go outside with our son and play baseball when the pool was 15 feet away. It just brought back too many memories. So we had to go, and it was hard. I think in the beginning I was going and going and going, but then the moment that we actually said our goodbyes and walked out, that's when it really hit me that we were leaving that house. So
and moving to another house soon again. This was sort of an interim, a temporary for you to get away from that.
A landing spot's what I call it.
A landing spot.
We needed, this is 4 miles from the other house, and we just needed a place to regroup that didn't have a pool.
No pool.
Yeah. No pool.
That was a big thing for you guys. Yeah.
We'll never have a pool.
It was a safe place. The kids knew this house. It was my brother-in-law's house, and the kids knew it. And we also had a couple of good memories with River here, so it just kind of seemed like a good transition place. Not a brand new place for the kids, but a place that they could kind of go and still feel comfortable. Yeah.
It's only been 9 months, and I imagine there are so many lows, but there are also some joyous moments as well, and moments where you can look back and, you know, relive all the great times that you've had as well. The 1,000 days that River was with you, as you both like to say. Yeah. When you think about your little boy, what do you remember most about him, Granger?
He was very unique. All 3 of our children are very unique, but he had a spirit about him that was untamed, half wild, but yet so lovable, very adventurous. And this is similar story to you hear to a lot of child drownings happen to a child with these characteristics: adventurous, always wanting to explore and find new territories, and lack of fear. And that's also what we loved about him. That's what made him so special. And so when I think back, I think of him with his unkept hair and bare feet, and on his little, electric tractors, wanting to go as fast as they could possibly go, and me trying to always reel him back in.
And Amber, what about you?
The same, just his crazy hair and his sweet spirit, and he was always laughing and always dancing, and everything was faster, and it was still not fast enough for him. Yeah. He was just a joy. Everybody who met him just said he was different, and there was just something different about his eyes. I just miss his spirit.
I can't imagine. You two have talked on your YouTube channel. You've opened up about that day and the loss. And, as parents, we all know, and we've heard, and unfortunately, too many stories like this are happening every day. Childhood drownings are the leading cause of death for children. When you think about that and knowing what you know now, I mean, you did everything right. You had a baby gate, a fence around your pool. Your son knew how to swim. All of those factors that you think about, they were there. But I know, Granger, you've said the impossible happened.
Yeah, and we didn't do everything, because If we had done everything, we would have researched childhood drowning and understood more about why it is the leading killer. And there's so many layers on why it is. One of them is the speed. We're talking 30 seconds. We know all this now. We know that a child inhales water, and an adult knows, don't breathe in if you're underwater, but a child unknowingly inhales and straight into the lungs, which increases the process. We know now how silent it is, which is maybe the most deadly thing about it. I was 20 feet away. I was playing gymnastics with my daughter. He was outside of a locked gate with our other son. And there wasn't music playing. There wasn't any kind of distractions. It was just a quiet 7 p.m. summer evening. And it was so silent. There wasn't a splash. There wasn't any kind of call for help. I just saw him. I turned around and I saw him. And it's... I'm still mad at myself that we had a pool and I didn't know that it's the leading killer.
But the gate was locked.
Yeah.
Do you know how he knew how to open it?
We have theories. We have several theories that not only we have put together, but doctors have kind of helped us build the timeline. And I think it's also important to say that for months, we were caught up in those reasons, and we were caught up in the technicalities of how it happened. We know now the preventative measures, the layers of protection you could have, and I'm trying to mentally be confident in knowing that and finding meaning in all of this, which is part of this. This is the first time we've done any kind of public interview about this besides our own personal channels. And one way I could find meaning in this loss is by spreading the message.
You know, the fact that he knew how to swim, you had been in the pool, all summer long.
Right.
And he was swimming, but in your channels you said he was wearing a diaper, had shoes on.
His PJs on.
These are things that I think a lot of parents, you think, oh, my child knows how to swim. We're okay now, even though we still have to obviously have all these layers.
Yeah.
But that's something that a lot of us aren't factoring in, that what if, right?
We've thought about it now.
Well, it's because most of the time it happens when children are not supposed to be swimming.
Right.
A lot of times people will say, watch your child, but it happens so fast. We've heard it as little as 6 seconds. And that could be somebody goes to the restroom or turns to attend to another child. And
we've heard it so many times when families, because we've heard all these stories now, we're inundated with stories. And we like that because that helps us find meaning in this. But we've heard stories with parents standing, wading knee deep in the water right next to another child. We've heard close friends of ours in this last year lost their child at a birthday party with multiple people around the pool. And it's difficult if you don't know what you're looking for to see the difference between a swimming child and a child that is under the water. If there's 15 kids in the water, it's difficult. We've heard stories right down here in our hometown where a child died in a public pool with lifeguards on duty.
It's so fast and it's so quiet. It's not like you see in the movies of splashing around and it's just silent. And we know now that it takes under 4 minutes for brain damage to happen if you don't get the heartbeat back in 4 minutes. In our case, it took 10 minutes for the ambulance to get to our house. So
we did CPR for the course of the 911 call, which was about 10 minutes. We know now it seems like 20 seconds, but it was about 10 minutes, and we didn't recover his heartbeat. The paramedics got there and did recover his heartbeat, and so we felt really good about that.
Yeah, we thought he's okay.
We thought he's must have only been in the water for 30 seconds. We get him out. He's unconscious, but we were able to get all the water out. And then they recovered his heartbeat, and we thought, we dodged a bullet.
Oh, gosh.
We did it. And
we're racing to the hospital. We're thinking he's going to be okay. We're telling our children,
his color came back. All the organs functioned perfectly, but the brain
gosh.
never recovered. That's another thing we learned about the 4-minute brain death.
I'm so sorry. And your other children were there the entire time.
They were there.
How are London and Lincoln? I mean, having gone through that and seen that.
It is unbelievable, the resilience of children. And our number one, our biggest issue with all of this is protecting them, especially since they were there, and protecting their little minds and their little memories of their brother, and removing any possible guilt from their minds is my number one priority. And they've been through counseling, they've been through therapy, they have just done so well, and I could learn a lot from their resilience, I'll put it that way.
Wow. And no nightmares? Do they wake up?
No. For a little bit, they talked about what they saw, and they talked about his purple cheeks.
Yeah.
So that was hard for London for a little bit, because they just kept asking, why was Bubby purple?
Yeah.
So she talked about that for a while, and she cried a little bit. But for the most part, through counseling and through them seeing us and how we're handling it, and us letting them talk about their brother and laugh and have pictures around the house, they're able to remember him in a happy way. And we're not telling them never to say his name or anything. So
we're not afraid to cry in front of them. We're not afraid to laugh in front of them. We're trying to teach them that any emotion is okay.
Yeah.
Any outward sign that comes out, whether it's a laugh or a giggle or a cry, it's okay. And we're trying to just let them kind of be in the moment as much as they can.
And I'm sure there's not a day that goes by that you don't honor his memory in some way and don't bring up his name in some way.
Of course.
Yeah.
We talk about him all the time and laugh about him and watch old videos all the time.
Morgan and Bodie Miller, who have had the opportunity to interview as well, and they've been through so much as well. But they I know reached out to you shortly after, and I know that there's perhaps a plan to work together along with the American Academy of Pediatrics to try to get this message out there for parents. And such a powerful mission that you all are on, because as parents who've had to deal with so much and go through so much, what do you hope that parents really take away from this? Because we all think it can't happen to me.
Sure.
If I don't have a pool, or if I don't have that luxury in my backyard, I'm okay. Yeah.
Does your neighbor have a pool? Do you ever go on vacations and at a hotel that has a pool? I think we just want people to know that it can happen to anybody. It happens in under 20 seconds. It's fast, it's silent.
Happens not only during swimming seasons.
Right, but mainly when kids are not supposed to be swimming at all.
Yeah.
In bathtubs.
Bathtubs, toilets.
I've heard washers.
Buckets, washers.
Washing machines.
I think for me, probably the most important thing is the layers of protection, because I would have thought a year ago, supervision, just watch your kids, right?
Yeah.
Just watch them. And I know now, from my own experience, that no human being on this planet is capable to say that's enough. They're not capable of saying supervision is enough, because that requires 24/7. And if you add gait, that's not enough. If you add swimming lessons, that's not enough. Pool alarm, it's not enough. But if you add it all up, and you take every precaution you can, and you're well educated, and you know how fast it can be, you're much better off, and you're much better protected.
This mission that you're on now to educate other parents, is it helping you heal in a way?
That's the reason we do it.
Yeah.
That's the reason we do it, is finding meaning through responsibility, and our responsibility back to the community is telling them everything we know, and talking through the tears and the grief, and saving one life, if that's what we could do. If we could save one life this spring break, this summer, as we didn't even want to talk this early, and she's the one that convinced me it's spring break time. We've got to talk.
Yeah.
People are going to be around pools again, and that's how we can cope with this.
And I know you all made the difficult decision in that moment to donate his organs to 2 other families with children as well. That had to give you some peace, knowing that your angel was living on in an important way. Yeah.
It did. It also made it difficult at the same time, because it prolonged, the call of death was prolonged about 24 hours. because we had to wait for a recipient. So at the same time, we got to say our goodbyes and really contemplate being with his physical body one last time. But it was a long process. And when we said goodbye, it felt like we were saying goodbye to a hero for the last time. And so seeing him go through those doors, his heart still beating, was very special, very special.
Do you know the families who received the organs?
We do.
Yes.
We received letters from them, and
We haven't met them yet.
we haven't met them, and it isn't our focal point. You know, we want to do as many things as we can, and that's how it started. And spreading the message is just as important. So it gives a little bit of light of hope in the darkest place to know that.
And that's something you have to, I think, say your prayers and know that is, you know, in some ways that's what his purpose on earth was for those short days.
We have to believe that.
Yeah.
We do, and we have to believe that he had a purpose. He had his days were numbered. All of ours are, and it is a disservice to him if I don't follow up on that as much as I can as a father.
You are, of course, we know you for your music and your social media channels and your YouTube channel. Are you continuing to write music? Are you writing music about River? Is this a time where you're using this time and what you've gone through to shape your new music?
I haven't yet, and that's typical of me. My mind kind of goes blank on the creative side for a little bit, and so the first step was getting back to touring, and I'm trying to take one step at a time. When we got back to touring, the first time I walked on stage was terrifying because I felt like the guy that everyone was looking at that failed his son. That's what it felt like the first time I walked on stage. That everyone is thinking, there's the guy, that's the guy. That's the guy that messed up, that made the ultimate mistake. And I got over it, and shows started adding up, and one by one, I felt more comfort in myself and my story. And I felt more comfort in reaching out to people that we texted one yesterday that just lost their child last week. And writing will come for me. I know it will. It's not always as soon as I think it would be, but it'll come, and hopefully I'll be able to use that as a nice creative release.
How do you deal with that feeling of, you know, people are judging me, and even perhaps seeing comments online from, of course, people who don't deserve to comment?
Yeah. If you're, as Teddy Roosevelt says, if you're not in the arena with me, if you're not fighting the battle with me in the arena, and you're just a spectator, then I do not take the criticism seriously. There are people that have earned my trust, family and friends I've earned their camaraderie over years, and they can criticize, and I will listen. And I learned that just through singing country music. But it is definitely different when it is something so personal as losing a child. And the funny thing is, I understand where they're coming from at some level. We're all human. And I can remember stories my whole life of children that have passed away. And I've always thought things, you know, such petty things like, why didn't you watch them? Why didn't you lock the door? Or in whatever story it might have been. I remember the story when the child was lost at Disney World to the alligator.
Yes.
And I just thought, how do you let that happen? How does that happen? And that was my human brain not understanding the situation, not knowing the story, not being there. And so I have empathy for that.
Now we know.
Now we know.
Yeah.
Now we know, and I thought about that family.
I know, Amber, you've said that the accident has changed your priorities in life. What are your priorities now?
God, my family, and my friends. And that's really it. Because we're not promised tomorrow. So just spending time with them and really just enjoying
You've
each
become
other.
a rock for other mothers as well. And you're not going to say that, but you have become someone that people could count on when they are hurting or they're grieving or they've lost reality, and you have become someone that they want to talk to and they want to listen to. And you have found a true calling in that.
Thank you. It's like you said, it helps. It's helped me heal, just to talk about what we're going through and what emotions. And we have okay days, and then we have really bad days. And I think just to let that out, and we trade, yeah. And I think just to get that out has really helped my healing, and also hearing from the other mothers and bonding over a club that we never wanted to be a part of. But
No.
Yeah.
It's your new normal, and I know you've talked about that. How do you wake up on those days when you know it's not going to be a good day and just put one foot in front of the other?
we just made a choice after it happened that we had to. We weren't going to let anything tear our family apart. And we have 2 other children we have to take care of, and they're watching us. And every day I open up my eyes, and it's the first thing I think about is that he's gone. But we have to get up and face the day, because otherwise, what was it for?
And we've learned to be present.
And be present.
You tell me that too, and I'll tell you that. And we swap back and forth, but if one of us is having a bad moment, because it's hard to say bad days because it's bad moments, because it changes. And when people say, how are you doing? We've learned to hate that question. How are you doing? Well, relatively speaking, at this moment, I'm doing okay. But in 5 minutes, that might change. And so we've learned to be as present as we can. We've learned to be as present as the current breath.
Yeah, just focusing on the next breath, if that's all you can do. Just everybody's like, how do you get through this?
We had to
One
learn
step.
it happened, but it's not happening. This is a safe place right here in this next breath. And focusing on that has sometimes been the only healing we've had.
Yeah. And you're a strong unit, and together leaning on each other, that has to get you through it as well.
Absolutely.
And I know Lincoln and London are, as you've said, the brightest smiles in the darkness. And that's, you live for your children, right? And creating more memories with them and in the present moment.
Yeah, they keep us laughing.
They do.
You know, I know, of course, nothing ever replaces a loss, like losing your child. Is there hope for maybe another child, or is your family complete? Are you even in that moment?
Well, she after River, she got her tubes tied.
Oh, okay.
We thought we were,
But that's not the end of the story. It doesn't have to be the end of the story.
we've thought a lot about
There's
it.
alternatives.
There are lots.
Yeah.
Lots of kids needing good families.
And to speak towards living in the moment. That's really what I told you earlier that we decided that was our forever house, and then we realized it wasn't. And it's the same story with extending the family. We just don't know, and we're okay with not knowing.
Whatever comes your way.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of freedom in that thought.
Yeah.
Whatever comes your way.
I know, Amber, you wrote about the year of 2019. You said it was the year that brought you to your knees. 2020, what do you hope this year will bring?
I hope it continues to bring healing, and I hope it continues to bring joy for our family and hope, and I hope I continue to hit my knees, because that's where we need to be. That's where we need to focus, is looking up and moving forward the best that we can, carrying this with us, not moving on or leaving behind, but just moving forward together.
And you all have created the River Kelly Fund in River's honor. And you've already given so much, I know, to the Dell Hospital where he was taken care of. Where else is that charity and the money going? What's your hope with it?
Everywhere. We have so many ideas. Obviously,
That's the beauty of it.
Dell Children's is so close to our heart, so we want to always continue to help them. We're talking about building a park in Georgetown, an All Abilities Park for all kinds of children. River loved being outside, loved the outdoors, loved the dirt. So we really want to build that park here, helping veterans and their families and what they go through.
We're
And
about to send a check to the tornado victims
the tornado
in
victims
Nashville.
in Nashville.
So the beauty of this is that it has many layers of what it could be.
Just wherever the greatest
And,
need is in the community.
Yeah, it's really just about giving back to the community.
Spreading his little light.
And every time we write a check, we'll feel his presence, and it'll be a smile.
And you have used the hashtag Live Like Riv. What does that mean for you all?
That started instantly.
Yeah.
I don't know who said that originally.
Pretty sure it was Tyler.
Probably my brother Tyler. And it's been a fun little mantra to say Live Like Riv, because he had 1,000+ days on this earth, and he lived them so carefree, bare feet and running with the wind. And I don't think that guy had anxiety ever. He never had stress, besides maybe missing mommy if she went to the grocery store. And can't we all just live a little bit more like that? A little more in the moment, a little more with the wind, a little more where the stream is taking us. And it's been a great mantra to kind of repeat to myself